Hello lovelies and welcome back to the channel. My name is Omotola. If you're new here, you are more than welcome. Please do well to subscribe and turn on your post notifications. That way you get notified every single time I upload a new video, at least once every week. Alright, so in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the difference between a dependent visa and a spousal visa. Alright, so simply put, your spousal visa category is only for those whose spouses are residents, permanent residents of the UK or have a British citizenship, and the dependent visa route is for those whose spouses are not citizens of the UK and do not have permanent resident status. Okay, so to answer the question that was on everybody's mind when I released that video for the spousal visa, you do not need an English proficiency test for your dependent visa. You also do not need to show proof of accommodation for your dependent visa. These are requirements for the spousal visa and not the dependent visa. So if this is your first time here on the channel, I put out a video a couple of days ago telling you about the changes in the spousal visa route. And if you want to know more about that or you're curious about that visa category, please do well to click on the link in the description box. It will take you directly to that video. But I got a lot of questions regarding the dependent visa and the spousal visa, if they were the same, if there was a difference. Alright, so in today's video, I'm just going to be clearing up all the doubts. Well, I hope to clear up all the doubts that you might have regarding both categories and, the requirements and what visa category is best suited for you. Regarding how you want to come into the UK. So the dependent visa is largely popular with students who come into the UK to study and they bring in their family members. So it could either be the wife coming in to study and bringing in her husband and children as her dependents, or vice versa. This is the most popular category for those who apply for dependent visa. Alright, so for those who qualify for this visa category, you must be one of the following. You can either be a full-time student on a postgraduate level course, that is the RQF level 7 or above, and that is simply, you can either come in as a master's or a PhD student. That is usually for 9 months or longer. So you cannot apply for a dependent visa if you are studying an undergraduate program. You can also be a new government-sponsored student on a course that lasts longer than 6 months, or a doctorate extension scheme student. So you can either be an exchange student, maybe you started your postdoctoral fellowship in a different country and then you are transferring as a transfer student, or having an exchange program also of some sort. Yes, you can apply for your dependents to also join you here in the UK. As for your relationship to the dependent, a dependent partner or child is one of the following. So it's either your husband or a wife, or civil partner, your unmarried partner. Maybe you have years of courtship and you can prove it. Yes, it also counts. So also any child under the age of 18 years, including if they were born in the UK during their stay. So you'll need to provide evidence of your relationship when you apply. For example, you will need your marriage or civil partnership certificate for your partner. You will need your birth certificate for the children as well. So if your children are 16 or 17, on the date you apply, you will need to prove that they are not living independently. For example, that they are not married or in a civil partnership. Why 16 or 17 is a question that might pop up in your head. And that's because in this country, children used to mature quick. It means that, children usually have independence at a very early age. So typically from like 16 to 17, most children are on their own, kind of fending for themselves. They're almost independent. So you will need to show proof that this child is actually still dependent on you and requires your financial input as their sponsor or as their parent or guardian, as it were. So let's get down to the money matters, because obviously your dependents will need money to support themselves while they are in the country and you are studying your course. So your partner and child must each have a certain amount of money available to them. This is in addition to the money you must have to support yourself. So that's not exclusive. All right, so how much money they need depends on where you will be studying. They must either have £845 a month for up to 9 months for a course in London, and £680 a month for up to 9 months for courses outside London. The reason is because London is usually quite expensive compared to other parts of the UK. So if you're applying at the same time as your partner or child, you are applying together as a family. So if you're not coming in first and then applying for your dependent after you are already in the UK. So if you're applying together, you will need to prove you both have money to pay for your course and to support yourself. So you have to have all of this money available. And in addition to the money for each of them, if your partner or child is applying at a different time to you, they will need to prove that they have the money to support themselves. So you must have the money for at least 28 consecutive days. The end date of the 28-day period must be within 31 days of the date you apply for your visa. It sounds like a mumble jumble. So you need about 28 days, consecutive 28 days for this money to be in your account, and it must also fall within the 31-day period for when you apply for your visa. So there's a kind of a timeline to all of this. So the 28 days for when you are building your account and when you are supposed to keep all this money in your account should also fall within the 31 days when you apply for your visa. So a lot of people don't actually understand this time frame, and it kind of results in denial of their visa because they did not keep this money for enough time, or they exceeded the 31 days where they were supposed to apply after they had all this money in their account for 28 days. So if you have a study loan or financial sponsorship, you will need to prove evidence of this for your loan or sponsorship company. If your loan does not cover your partner or child, you need to prove you have the money to support them instead. So the only time where you do not need to show money to prove that you have money to support yourself is only if you have been in the UK on a valid visa for about 12 months. So for your application, you will need your application number, and you will only get this when you apply. The number is called the Global Web Form, which is your GWF, or your unique application number. And you will find this on emails and letters from the Home Office about your application. Also, you know that CAS is gold. You need CAS to be able to apply or even start this process at all. Your CAS is your confirmation of acceptance of studies, and that is usually sent to you from the school that you have applied to. Now, this CAS is very important because it is going to be required at every single stage of your application. So as part of the application process, you will need to have your fingerprints and photographs taken at the visa application center. You will have to collect your biometric residence permit within 10 days of when they said they will arrive in the UK. So usually the dependent visa lasts for as long as the main applicants, so your visas expire on the same day. So for the fees for your visa application, that is £490 per person. So for a family of 4, you just multiply that by 4, family of 3, you know what applies. And for your health surcharge, you pay £624, and that is per year. So there you have it, that you do not need an English test for your dependent visa. I got this question a lot because a lot of people seem to confuse the spousal visa with the dependent visa. So you do not need the English proficiency test for your dependent visa. So I hope this video was able to clear that up and just give you an idea of what to expect. All right, that is the end of today's video. I hope this video was able to help 1 or 2 people out. If you found anything of value in it, please do well to give it a huge thumbs up. It does a lot to help my analytics and also get other people to see this video. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye, guys.